One more question.
That'd be great.
What is your position on giving incentives to businesses that are moving into the area? Like these $1 million tax incentives to bring a corporation or something in. Are you for that, or?
Well, you know, that is a question we should probably spend an entire session on, and I'm happy to do that. In 2017, I was part of a stakeholder group I was a new counselor at that time. I think it was 2016 we started meeting. And we had a stakeholder group around 25 individuals in the city. Citizens, council members, staff. I served on that with the former mayor, Cecil Gutierrez. And we developed an economic development strategy as well as an incentive policy that staff could then work from. So when you know the rules and they're fair for everybody, we could work together. So we were in a consistent process. So that's a long discussion, but generally what the city department will do on the economic development, they have guidelines and they're looking for return on investment. They're looking for ability to enhance the city. In other words, they will look at services that aren't existing in the city. They will look specifically at small businesses, which most of our businesses are. They will look at job-creating businesses like primary employers, because they bring and grow your economic pie. They bring money into the community because they do their business outside primarily of your community. So they have a policy and a plan. Matter of fact, last December, it was November or December, I requested and the council supported that we direct the Economic Development Director to revisit the economic strategic plan as well as the incentive policy in light of COVID and where we're at. And even though that plan is good for 5 years, 2017 to 2022 would be 5, we asked to move up the timetable and revisit that and bring that back to council before the end of the year so we can take a look at it. So, you know, we have to look at waste. We lose about 15% of the jobs in the city a year. 10 to 15% is what normally happens in cities. So you need to replace that, but you also want to make sure you're attracting jobs that have a future.
Okay, what about the housing part of it? Like the apartments and stuff that went over by Centera? Did we give that, I think it's Keenan, or I can't remember the name.
Can you describe? Did you hear the question? He's wondering about, restate it, and maybe I can understand it better.
Well, it was, I understood that we gave a big incentive to one of the builders, and they were building apartments over by Centera.
No, there were no incentives. The cities, if the city's going to do an incentive of some sort, we do fee waivers for affordable housing. For instance, we work very closely with Loveland Housing Authority and Loveland Habitat for Humanity. Those are the two primary developers or people that build housing, affordable housing, generally for people with 30 to 60% of median income in the county, which is around $65,000. We work with them, we'll often grant fee waivers, and we'll backfill those. City will actually contribute so to reduce the cost of those projects. That occurred over by the Edge, which is off of 15th Street and Boyd Avenue, behind where the veterinarian is, south of the ditch. Then the other thing the city might do with housing, well, that's about it, what we do with housing.
I had my wrong information.
Yeah, that's okay. Listen, it's a lot going on. It gets confusing.